Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. The second chapter of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, known as Sādhanapāda, begins with this aphorism. Here Patanjali defines Kriyā Yoga, the yoga of action of practical discipline. It consists of three essential practice stops: austerities and self-discipline, Svadhyaya, self-study and study of scar text, and Īśvara Praṇidhāna, surrender to God or the Supreme Beings. These three together form the foundation for spiritual progresses. Tapas purifies as strengthens both body and mind. Svadhyaya deepens understanding and self-awareness. Ishvara Praṇidhāna dissolves ego and cultivates devotion and surrender. Kriya Yoga therefore is not merely a set of actions, it is a comprehensive spiritual lifestyle that purifies the heart, disciplines the mind, and leads the practitioners towards inner peace and realization of the self. Glossary meaning of terms. In the Sutra, Tapas Svadhyaya Pranidhanani Kriya Yoga, said Patanjali described the practice aspect of yoga known as Kriya Yoga. The yoga of action and disciplines practice consists of three fundamental components: tapas, svadhyaya, and Īśvara Praṇidhāna. Tapas represents self-discipline's endurance and purification of the body and mind through effort and strength. Svadhyaya means self-study, both introspections and the study of scripture as well as the recitations of mantras for inner refinement. Ishvara Praṇidhāna signifies complete surrender to the divine, dedicating all actions to God with devotion and humility. Together, these three forms essence of Kriya Yoga, a transformative path that purifies the mind, relieves suffering, and leads the practitioner toward inner stillness and spiritual realization. Simple meaning: Tapas, Svadhyaya, and Īśvara Praṇidhāna. These three together constitute Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is the initial stage of yogic practice, means to remove the impurities of the mind, such as laziness, restlessness, and ego. Tapas discipline the body and mind. Svadhyaya develops self-awareness and wisdom, and Īśvara Praṇidhāna cultivates humility and surrender to God. In this way, Kriya Yoga serves as foundation for deeper meditations and purifications necessary for higher stages of spiritual realization. Deeper interpretations. Kriya Yoga is the preliminary step, perform disciplines that purifies the body, speech, and mind, preparing the practitioner for the higher state of meditations. Tapas trains honor the endure hardship and control the season, transforming pain and struggle into inner strength. Svadhyaya is the process of self-study and inner reflections, guiding one towards self-knowledge and connection with divine wisdom through scar text mantras recitations. Īśvara Praṇidhāna is the part of surrender, the dissolutions of ego and offering of all actions to the divines together. These three cultivated disciplines discriminate and purity of the soul, leading the seeker gradually toward deep meditations, inner peace, and spiritual liberation. Example in practice. The three components of Kriya Yoga, Tapas, Svadhyaya, and Īśvara Praṇidhāna, can be practiced in daily life as follows. Tapas, walking up to 4 a.m. for meditation, practicing yoga regularly, observing fasting or silence or mount, and living a pure, disciplined life are example of tapas. This practice strengthens willpower and self-control. Second, Svadhyaya, studying scar texts like Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Yoga Sutras, Ramayana, reciting mantras and engaging in self-reflection represents Svadhyaya. They bring clarity, insight, and self-knowledge. Īśvara Praṇidhāna. Performing every action is an offering to God, remaining unattached to the rituals, and accepting both success and failure as divine will illustrate Īśvara Praṇidhāna. This cultivates humility, devotion, and surrender. Inspirational message. Human life is not meant merely for material comfort. Its true purpose is to illuminate the soul through discipline, study, and surrender. Life's fulfillment doesn't lie in wealth or sensory pleasure. When one practice stops to master the body and mind, Svadhyaya to awaken inner wisdom, and Īśvara Praṇidhāna to surrender fully to divine, life becomes radiant with spiritual light. This inner illuminations disciples for sorrow and attachment, leading one toward peace, purity, and lasting bliss. Practical inspirations. Kriya Yoga is not merely a philosophy to be read. It is discipline to be lived daily. Its essence lies in simple, conscious actions. Practice is little self-control every day. Be mindful of your word, food, and action. This is the beginning of Tapas. Dedicate a few minutes for self-reflection or study. Spend 5 to 10 minutes in silence, reviewing your thoughts and deeds, or read spiritual texts like the Gita or Upanishads. This is the Svadhyaya. Offer all outcomes of your efforts to God, whether success or failure. Accept both with equanimity. This is the Īśvara Praṇidhāna. Example: if you practice yoga or meditation daily, do it not merely for physical fitness but as a means of inner purification and surrender to the divine. When awareness and devotion enter your actions, even ordinary routines becomes acts of spiritual practice. Spiritual analysis. The Sutra, Tapah, Svadhyaya, Īśvara Praṇidhanani, Kriyā Yoga reveals the deep spiritual process leading to our liberation. Tapas help in mastering the sense of dissolving attachment and aversions, rag, dvesh. Through disciplines restrain the mind attains steadiness and calmness. Svadhyaya constantly reminds the seeker of the introverted question, who am I? It leads one from outer identifications to our inner realizations, awakening the awareness of the true self, body, divine body, and ego. Īśvara Praṇidhāna is the surrender of the ego, the shift from I do to God does through me. This humility opens the heart to divine grace. Together, these three purify the mind, Chitta Suddhi, making it clear and tranquil. A purified mind naturally entrance deep meditation, and from the meditation arises samadhi, a state of ultimate peace, unity, and self-realization. This is the part of my research study. These ideas presented here are intended guidance, and it is advisable to verify them against authentic source whenever necessary. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We are on a journey together toward a peaceful life. I welcome any suggestion or correction regarding the writing. Next part, Patanjali Yoga and Samadhi Path, Sutra 2. Thank you.